necromorphs are mutated and reanimated corpses, reshaped into horrific new forms by a recombinant extraterrestrial infection. The resulting creatures are extremely aggressive and will attack any uninfected organism on sight. So I'm your host Abz, and in this video I'll be explaining the necromorphs seen in the Dead Space universe. So if you want to see more necromorph lore videos, be sure to plasma cutter your way through that like button and subscribe for similar lore content.
What the hell was that?
Automatic quarantine must have tripped when the filtration system restarted. Everybody relax.
What was that?
Not sure.
What the hell? I don't know. Something's in the room with us.
Jesus! Open fire! Open fire! Turn the power! Turn the...
Come on. Got it!
Isaac! Get the hell out of there!
The door's unlocked! Run!
Now, the sole purpose of almost all necromorphs is to acquire more bodies to convert and spread the infection. They are believed by some to be the heralds of humanity's ascension, but on a more practical level are the extremely dangerous result of exposure to the enigmatic devices known as the markers. Now, the markers are enigmatic double helix shaped objects of extraterrestrial origin. The purpose of these objects are to create necromorphs and finally a moon. The creation of a brethren moon, also known as a necromorph moon, begins with a black marker being sent to a hospitable planet. The black marker emits an electromagnetic signal that guides and teaches forms of life into civilization, forcing evolution of certain sentient species. Eventually, the black marker and the copies made by them send out multiple signals. Those alive and inflicted with lower intelligence begin to experience hallucinations and contract dementia, sending the living into a paranoid state, causing homicidal and suicidal actions. This ultimately prepares the next event by creating increasing dead bodies. Those with a higher intelligence, however, are instead given blueprints of creating a marker directly into their brains. The generation of a necromorph begins with the markers, so the highly concentrated electromagnetic signal from the markers alters any dead tissue in range on a cellular level, converting it into pure necromorph tissue and reanimating the corpse of the host organism. This signal also affects the minds of any nearby intelligent life forms, usually manifesting, as I said previously, dementia and resulting in homicidal, suicidal actions. So what this does is it essentially sets the stage for the coming necromorph infection. This infection occurs not only with the black marker, but also where the other duplicate markers have spread. When the bodies become numerous, they prepare for the ultimate stage of convergence. Another way the infection is spread is directly through the necromorph pathogen. Typically, the infection is passed on to new host bodies via specialized necromorphs such as infectors or swarms. So in order for the necromorph pathogen to infect a host body, the host must first be dead, but for reasons unknown, living victims who come into contact with the microbes do not undergo transformation, although they will have symptoms of paralysis, catatonia, and impaired breathing can occur as well. These symptoms do not necessarily ensure the death of the host, but they can make it easier for nearby necromorphs to catch and kill them. Living victims that ingest necromorph tissue in large quantities undergo a gradual transformation, eventually dying of starvation and becoming feeders. Once the host is dead, the recombinant properties of the infection take hold. The process is extremely rapid and predictably violent. Cellular functions go into a self-destructive overdrive, creating new biologically active compounds, which are then metabolized by reanimated flesh to fuel further mutations. Bones are broken, put together in new configurations, or reshaped into entirely new forms. All of this takes place within a matter of seconds, and the process generates tremendous amounts of heat. More often than not, the violently spasming corpses become so hot that stagnant blood begins to boil in the veins and arteries, rupturing the skin. Previously vital and digestive organs that are no longer needed are broken down and turned into additional musculature, giving all necromorphs increased physical strength. All necromorphs are extremely hardy and capable of surviving in lethal environments such as the vacuum of space. This implies a total lack of respiration or reliance upon vascular activity. which explains the Necromorph's resistance to wounds that, when it comes to humans, would cause massive blood loss. Many Necromorphs feature yellow luminescent tumor-like growths. These sacs often explode violently when ruptured, and it is possible that these organs serve as sources of energy for the Necromorph. Necromorphs are highly aggressive. They will attack any non-infected being on sight, regardless of species or age. The sole purpose of this behavior is to kill new hosts and spread the infection as quickly as possible. Despite being viewed as mindless killing machines, the creatures sometimes display tactical planning and cooperative behavior. They commonly hunt in small packs of mixed individuals with semi-specific roles and use stealth, ambush or group tactics to outsmart their victims. This requires a degree of strategic thinking and points to a certain amount of individual intelligence and communication. Examples of this include using ventilation shafts to sneak up on prey, playing dead, not attacking until the victim is well within striking range or their back is turned, or using a lure to draw known threats into an ambush. Necromorphs share a form of collective intelligence, allowing them to act in a coordinated manner during an outbreak. This shared consciousness was formerly believed to originate from powerful necromorphs such as the Hive Mind or Nexus, but it is now known that all necromorphs are controlled by the Brethren Moons or Brother Moons, which are gigantic spacefaring necromorphs and the source of the marker signal. When it comes to dealing with a necromorph, it is advisable to induce as much blood loss as possible by any means necessary. While shooting at the torso or head are inefficient ways to deprive a necromorph body of blood, enough shots to the head or body will eventually drain the body to the point where it is assumed lifelessness, where the physical inability to mobilize themselves despite the presence of any functional limbs still connected to the host. But the phrase "cut off their limbs" was a common phrase used with dealing with necromorphs. The typical necromorphic limb had for all practical significance. It is commonly observed that removal of such limbs will cause the host to lose a substantial amount of blood, while the limb itself turns flaccid. Unfortunately, countless combatants died due to not knowing a specific necromorph's specific vulnerability via dismemberment. One systematic approach to killing these creatures is to chop them to pieces by removing the heads, arms, legs and other extremities until the body is assumed lifelessness. The act of strategically removing the limbs from the creatures is dubbed strategic dismemberment. There were different strategies when it came to dismembering different creatures, and to know them is indispensable in a game where the supply of ammo is low by definition. So different necromorphs had to be dealt in different strategic ways. It was never a simple task. But if you'd like me to explain the different necromorph variations, I can also do that in a future lore video. So there you have it guys, there's the necromorphs from the Dead Space universe explained. So if you did enjoy this video, be sure to cut off the limbs of that like button and subscribe for more lore related content, and be sure to check out my lore playlists for hours of lore videos for you to watch through. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I will catch you next time.